charismatic. You should care about your employees, and you should criticize when you need to, but don't overdo it because you're gonna drive them away. I want you to describe your leadership experience because you were my boss at one point in time.
Yeah.
So, well, when you were working with us, it was something else. Because I know you were hardworking. You got your stuff done. Then people were like, oh, well, yeah, people, you were in a way mean, as people would say, because you were like, oh, do this and that. But then at the end of the day, like, it was effective because the whole kitchen was tight. We did our jobs, At the end of the day, everything was done. Of course, some people were like, oh, why is he yelling? Why is he saying this and that? Da, da, da. But I guess us in back at the house, we're just used to it. Like, we know who you are, and you know how you are as a leader. So I want you, from your point of view, describe how you led, and also I want you to describe your ideal leadership. Like, what type of ideal leader do you aspire to be?
Okay, let's start with the ideal. So, I think that let's think about this. Like, an experience that happened early on to me that shaped some of the way that I thought about leadership was like at my first job at a Chick-fil-A. Like, I remember one night I was closing, and this Chick-fil-A used to take us a long time to close, sometimes like 2 hours. So we'd be there till like midnight, 1 in the morning. And it was a really rough night. And we were just trying to get out of there. And like usually the manager, like who was in charge, would go in the office and count the money at the end of the night. And so basically the closing was up to like there was a lower level shift leader and then the people, whoever the closers were. And I remember specifically one night, like it was a long night. We were doing things, and then all of a sudden, like the manager who's supposed to be counting money came out of the office, and like he rolled up his sleeves, and like he got out a squeegee, those things we use to clean the floor, and like he started doing the floors with us, and we were just kind of like, wow, that's really cool. And like he helped us do we did all the floors, we finished the kitchen, like we got out earlier than we would have gotten out had he not helped us, and that like really stood out to me. And then another example was like same thing one night I was doing dishes, and like it was back before we had the metal trays, so we had the yellow plastic trays. We had those at Rizzo. Yeah. And like there were just stacks of them like in the sink. I just remember, and like I went to the office and I knocked on the door, and I said to the manager, I was like, and I was pretty young at this time, and I was getting overwhelmed, and I was like, I don't know how like I'm ever gonna finish all of these in the time we're gonna be here all night. And like he came out of the office and like same thing, like rolled up his sleeves, like they all had like they would all wear dress shirts to work. Like he took off his dress shirt and like put on a chef coat like we would wear, and like he came and like he basically washed dishes with me until we finished. And like those are two times that really stood out to me, and like that's what I think real leadership is. Like, and so let me describe it here. And like another thing that also shaped me is Joe always said, and I think this is right, never ask someone to do something that you can't do or won't do. And that doesn't mean you have to do everything, but it does mean that you should be willing to do anything with your employees. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what real leadership looks like. Like, I took a class last semester, and we talked about leadership a lot. And I think it's this model of servant leadership, where your goal as the leader is to be a blessing to the people that you lead. It's not, and we talked about power earlier, a lot of people want power just so they can tell people go here, go there. It gives them a kind of sense of fulfillment, and it's about them. And servant leadership is not like that. Servant leadership is about the people that you lead. So you're thinking, like, stuff has to get done, no question. It doesn't mean that the inmates run the prison, if you know what I mean, or that like basically, like let's say I'm the leader, I let you guys do whatever you want. But it does mean that like when I'm thinking about making decisions and when I'm asking you to do things and when I tell you to go like get something done, that I'm thinking about like how are you going to view that? How are you going to think about that? Like and I'm constantly having the people that I'm leading in mind, and also like and it also starts with me demonstrating that. So like I think like, I mean, you'll remember I always like, I wanted things cleaned a certain way. I wanted a certain level of intensity or a certain level of hard work. And like, of course I don't do this perfectly because I'm not a perfect person, but I would hope that I would demonstrate those things to you. So when I say like, I want this cleaned in a certain way, I'm gonna show you how to do it the first time, or I'm gonna have someone instruct you, or I'm gonna walk you, I might not clean the whole thing, but I might walk you through the steps of how to do that. Or if I say like, I want us out at a certain time, like when we're closing, it's not that I'm sitting in the office and you guys are closing and I'm like, I can't believe you guys aren't out, but it's like I'm in the kitchen with you guys showing you how we can get out at this certain time. Or like if I'm asking you like, there's a lot of nasty things to clean, let's say in the back of a Chick-fil-A, or like at the end of the night, like it's not pleasant. Like I would never ask you to clean something that I wouldn't clean. And I think that's what leadership looks like. It's having the people that you lead in mind when you lead. So like think like if I notice, like if I walk in the kitchen, like I notice like maybe you're tired, or like maybe I ask you to do like something all day, like the same position all day, and I know that that's challenging. Like I don't enjoy doing that, and so like I'll be understanding as a leader. Maybe I come over and like, you know, Munir, like I really need you to do this position all day. I really need that. Like, but like maybe every hour or so, I'm like, do you need 5 minutes to take a rest? Like I'll cover you. Like, do you need, like, can I get you water? Can I help you do this? Can I help you do that? Like, help you know that I appreciate what you're doing for me. Like, Munir, I really appreciate you being willing to do this on a day. Like, I understand it's not fun, but I really appreciate that. And so I think it's really an employee-centered approach as opposed to a leader-centered approach.
It's more narcissistic, yeah.